Hey, what's going on, family? It's yours truly, Nick Woodard, checking in with you. Another amazing day. Hey, real quick, I want to just share my personal testimony on how MYECON, the personal financial success company, has helped change me and my family's life, right? So before MYECON, I was living not even paycheck to paycheck. I was living getting paid Friday to being broke on Monday, right? I had credit cards maxed out. I was in debt up to my neck and was clueless about money. So I was introduced to this opportunity by my personal mentor, Mr. Terrence Hill, the founder of the Financial Blueprint Academy, because we believe in giving people a financial peace of mind, right? And he shared this information with me, and based off the first strategy when it comes to cash flow management, I was able to legally adjust my W-4 form as well as my wife's, and we income shifted an extra $700 back into our household each and every month, right? And we took the new cash flow and put it towards our debt. And up to today's date, we have snowballed over $50,000 in debt at the government's expense, right? And on top of that, we have actually cash flowed just over $100,000 by applying these strategies. So I encourage each and every one of you to reach out to anyone you hear who is talking about personal financial success, representing MYECON, because we're all about changing lives and we want to welcome you to the financial journey. Have a blessed one. Peace.
Hey, there we go. Hey, how's everybody doing? So what we wanted to do, first of all, just to take a couple of seconds so that you can see what we were doing, and that is not about me, right? But what we do, we represent an academy, the Financial Blueprint Academy. So what you saw is just a couple of testimonies of hundreds of people that have joined month after month after month, that are finding out that it doesn't take what they thought that it took in order to use financial strategies, right? It doesn't take what they thought that it would take in order for them to get to their goals in life, whether that's better credit, whether that's just extra $500 or extra $5,000 a month, you know, whatever that may be for you. And see, what you're so used to is you're so used to people coming aboard and say, hey, you know, let's do something. And what you have to do is you have to sell their pill, their potion, their lotion, their wrap, their tea, their thingamabob, a jig, or whatever it may be, right? But what we're talking to you about now is how to become inspired by how to use your own purpose, your own passion, and whatever that is that you want as an end goal. How can you achieve that? So that's what we're here to do today. Okay, so if you're trying to do a 501c3, maybe it's a nonprofit and you can't see exactly how you're going to supply or provide, right? So let's show you how to use your money with a short little strategy that we call cash, asset, cash, right? So maybe you want to do a brick and mortar business and you want to grow multiple businesses, maybe, or just you want to work on a small business level, whatever that may be. Maybe you just need an extra $500 a month, right? So let's show you how to dive in and understand how to make your money, make money. Because the biggest thing, what we want to do is to make sure that we keep more of the money that we're making, first of all. Okay, when we do that, then we can jump on into creating more money, okay? Because now the money is going to be making us more money. So let's dive in and let's see what we're talking about, okay? Now, I'm going to start this in the beginning here so you can see And if you are unfamiliar, my name is Michael Holmes, and I'm a proud member of MyEcon. And as we are talking about this, everybody understands that it's the a pandemic is going on, and the pandemic is what it introduced us to an epidemic. The epidemic was we were not prepared financially, right? So that's what we wanted to do. And so what we want to do is we want to create wealth by helping other people to find out how they can create wealth for themselves. Okay, so that's how we're going to do this. So let's start at the beginning of our slides here. Now, you should be able to see the full screen here. And what we're a MyEcon, all right? And what does that represent? Like I said, my name is Michael Holmes. And, before MyEcon, I had several businesses, and I still own several businesses. But the thing is, I was always hustling, trying to get this one and trying to move that one. And, there was no established cash flow. So you may remember a small thing like when the banks got bailed out, right? I was in the middle of that. I had almost 60 something houses, okay? And so when that came through, I lost every one of those, right? Or I had to do, D's and lieu or, short sales or, different types of things. But if I had the right cash flow, okay, what I'm gonna show you a little later, then I would have been able, through MyEcon's process, I would have stayed afloat like I was able to do for the 2019, 2020, right? So let's check it out here. Okay. Now, MyEcon, as you're aware, if you're not aware, if you never heard of them, you probably haven't. It's a 16-year-old company. Okay. So that means it has everything necessary. It has the tread, right? The rubber's already met the road here, right? We've already proven that this works. Okay. It's a proven company. And also throughout these 16 years, it is debt free. Okay. So think about that, right? He's 16 years old and it's also debt free. All right. And then also it's technology driven, which means that, hey, you always heard that, hey, people are doing social media type things. And, so you want to know that you can perform this right here on your cell phone. OK, so what we want to do is show you how that you can do those things. And it's based right out of Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, we're nationwide, of course, but we're based out of Atlanta, Georgia, and $500 million in cash flow already has been paid out to the associates throughout the organization. Okay, so what you can see is MyEcon is positioned and it's primed for growth, right? So that's important. So you know that you have a solid foundation. Okay, so let's look at a couple of things. Let's look at a few statistics. Okay, so America, we've often heard of this. America is the wealthiest country, right? So we've heard that, hey, if you want to get it, you can come to America and you can have a chance at it, right? But at the same time, 69% of Americans have less than $1,000. That means if you're in a room, right, and there's 10 people in that room, okay, then it's 7 out of 10 of them can't put their hands on $1,000. Okay, so it's what we said is opening our eyes to an epidemic. And so when you position yourself in front of an epidemic with a solution, you know what can happen. Okay. Now, 68 million Americans already have poor credit, right? If that wasn't the case, every time you turn on the TV, there's an advertisement for one of the credit bureaus, okay? It's something about Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, or one of their subsidiaries, one of the, Credit Karma, all those privacy guards, right? It's always something going on, right? Protect your identity, okay? So it's all types of things happening in that arena. So there is a reason for this, okay? And also 8 out of 10 Americans feel like they're falling behind, okay? That's 8 out of 10 of them are feeling like they're falling behind. So just think about it. In that same party, okay, 7 of them, of course, they can't put their hands on $1,000. So 8 of them out of that party, guess what? They feel like they're falling behind, okay? Because if something happens, what do you have if you can't put your hands on 1,000? If you can't put your hands on 100, right? That emergency becomes a dire strait now, okay? Now what has happened, and we all have recognized this, although this is going on, wages are stagnant, and the government really has no solution. Okay, so what you have going on right now, if you are watching this and it's 2021 and you're watching this on a replay, there's a certain thing called the stimulus packages and the CARES Act and those types of things, and the PPP and the EIDLs, or those right there are built to stimulate the economy, sure enough. But if there is not the strategy behind why the epidemic of the poverty has happened, okay, then putting an extra 600 or extra 1,200 is not going to help, okay? Or getting a $20,000 line of credit or a loan from the government for this particular situation is not going to help either, right? It's just going to help you float until you get the right types of strategies in place. So as you're getting these stimulus packages, let's show you how to put that to effect, okay? Now let's look at it. Everybody has two objectives, no matter who they are, right? We're trying to meet our current lifestyle and our future lifestyle all at the same time, right? Like the song says, I'm trying to live my best life, right? And so many times you're living your best life, but the future is not being prepared for, right? We spend the time we want to, right? In our 20s, we're trying to find ourselves, trying to find the type of business we want to do. Maybe in our 30s, it's time for families and putting that type of stuff together. So you have to put a lot of things on hold a lot of times. So in your 40s, you may be trying to develop stuff, but you're still trying to help out and your kids and that are growing up and some that are grown, okay? And then you're in your 50s and now you're seeing that, hey, I really will, settle. I don't need what I thought I needed, right? So you just say, well, I'm just going to work and hopefully I'll have some type of retirement, okay? So let me show you that thing, what you're just thinking about. For 200 years, probably, everybody has been thinking about that. Ever since the inception of probably Social Security, ever since the inception of 40-hour work weeks, people have been thinking the same thing. So, right? But your current labor is what you got to think about. How do you generate dollars, right? How is it that you are making income, okay? What you have to do is you have to take your time and you have to invest that into somebody else's job, okay? And you are getting in, every time you give them an hour, they're going to give you what? $12, $20, okay? So it's paid for by your labor. But at some point in time, right, you may not want to labor, or maybe you can't labor, or maybe they move offshore and they don't need your labor anymore, right? So now your future lifestyle, also, you got to think about it. If you already are, so many people are, as it says, 8 out of 10 people are feeling like they're falling behind, okay? So if that's the case, then how are you going to take care of your future lifestyle, right? Your future lifestyle has to come from investments, but the investments aren't there. And see what so much we have been dependent on is what comes from government, Social Security, right? The latest study has already been put out that maybe 3/4 of what you put into Social Security may be there, maybe 75%, okay? And then pensions, okay? The pensions are really, it may be given out here or there, but it's not really as prevalent, as it used to be. And even if you are getting a pension, right, it's generally about 30-40% of what you was making, okay, what you were making. Now, if you are already having a little issue, challenges, then you're getting now 40%, Social Security is not there, then what will you do? Okay, if you don't have what you need, just think about it right now. Okay, now let's look at it. This is why this is happening. Okay, these are the 4 challenges that's preventing you from doing what you want to do. You're working hard, right? You're working, you're putting the hours in, and you're getting the money, but there's other things that are in your way. It's like you consistently putting money into, let's say, for instance, putting a liquid into a vase, water into a vase, but the vase has holes in it. Okay, and these are the largest 4 holes that you have to plug up right here. Okay, we're gonna have to stop the money that we have, stop it from leaving, okay? So first thing is inflation. And what's inflation? Inflation is just simply the cost of goods, services, products, right? Going up over time because of some challenge or because of something, okay? But it's the cost of goods and services going up over time. It is averaged about 4 to 6%. That it goes up every couple of years, okay? So if you don't have something that's invested that is going to outpace inflation, meaning that your investment is not making more than 4 to 6% every couple of years or yearly, right? You are in danger, okay? So let's look at the second one, taxes. We all hear about it, right? There's so many taxes that are mentioned. I won't even go through that for the sake of time. But what we're talking about here is the income tax. All right, we all know. Okay, look at your statement. If you are a W-2 earner and not a 1099, look at it with the taxes. Okay, you have your gross, right? Your gross. And then you have what? Your net that you actually bring home. Or maybe you'd be saying like, my net is kind of gross, right? So let's take a look at what we need to do about that. Because if you're not factoring in taxes to your budget, then you're essentially saying that I'm making a budget 30% over what I'm going to need, what is actually going to have, what I'm actually going to have. So what I'm saying is this. Taxes come out and they take 30% of your check each and every week, each and every other week, however you get paid. It takes an average of 28 to 32%. Okay. So when you look at it, if there's a way to use that now, okay, then you could do better, right? That is your money. You gave them 100% of your time. You're not getting 100% of your dollars. Let's take a look at that, right? So wouldn't it be better for you to get 100% of your dollars? But you may say, Mike, well, I don't mess with that because I'm going to get, a return that I don't want to owe. Okay. See, the thing is that the uninformed, okay, will always be taken advantage of. Okay. We live in a capitalistic society, right? So what does that mean? Capitalized. Okay, so the uninformed will always be capitalized upon. Okay, that's how things work. So because the information is out there. Okay, so now you got to get the information so that you know how to use your money, because they're not giving you 30% of your money back at the end of the year, right? So let's look at the third. We're talking about debt. Debt's going to take another third of your income. Why is that? Because you're making a budget based upon 100% of what you think you're making, right? So when you make an application for an apartment or for a car, right? They say, hey, put down your gross, right? But you don't bring home your gross. So already you are behind. You're making a budget and it's based upon your gross. You're getting approved for something that you only are bringing home 70% of, okay? So you have to go into more debt. You have to get the credit card. You have to go in debt to get the car. You have to go into debt to get the other things, right? The home, everything else, okay? Because they're taking the 30%. Now you can get the 30% back with your taxes, apply it to the debt, right? And now you're going to get 60% of your spending power back. You're going to increase your cash flow. And what is that going to do? Okay, this is going to run us into number 4, big business. And why do I say big business? And I won't go in detail, but just think about it like this. Okay, if you think about it, what is that? The Super Bowl ads, right? They spend millions of dollars to get 20 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds. I mean, millions of dollars. Okay. Why is that? Because they know that it's going to be a million, maybe $1 billion return, right, upon that investment. Because guess what? You're going to spend upon that. They make everything that you want feel like a need. Okay, so we want to eradicate that problem. We want to be informed. Okay, because the uninformed will allow the final third of their income to be taken away by relegated or undisciplined spending. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to overcome these 4 challenges. You may say, Michael, how am I going to overcome these challenges? I know they're here. I know those things are, there, right? But what do I do, right? What can I do? I tried to get a second job, and guess what? They just took more taxes. I tried to work overtime, and guess what? They just took even more taxes, right? And so my significant other got a second job also. And guess what? Now they're spending time away from the children, and now they're taking more taxes away. Now we got to spend more money in gas, so we're not really getting ahead, right? So let's look at it. What we got to do is use principles, right? Strategies, things that have been working over time and have been proven to do so. And what we work with is called cash asset cash, right? You take a small amount of cash, create an asset. What is an asset? Something that provides cash for you, right? So now we want to do that and put it on a repeat cycle, cash, asset, cash. But so many times we get the cash, taxes, whoop, debt, whoop, right? And then inflation, whoop, right? So everything, or either we go and buy what? More trash. But now we want to develop an asset, right? Because it simply makes sense. Okay, let's go. Right? Let's look at it. We're talking about a 369 financial complete transformation. Okay. So when you're thinking about it, you're thinking, hey, my goal is X. Okay. My goal is Y. Right? No matter what that is, won't it take money to get there? If that's the case, you want to keep more of the money that you're making, right? And then able to do what? Use wealth strategies to make more money. So then you can pursue your purpose with passion and you don't have to worry about income as a challenge anymore. Okay. So let's look at these three solutions. Okay. In the first 3 days, we're going to show you how to increase your cash flow by doing what? Getting rid of those challenges, right? Because what we realize is that right now, if you are W-2 working, and probably 99, 97, I don't know, it's a large percentage of us or the United States that are working as a W-2 worker, which means that you have taxes taking out, right? Not as a 1099, which is an independent contractor, okay? They're taking out between 28 to 33%. Why is that not fair, right? Because what you're doing is you're giving them 100% of your work. Then they're going to tax you because you're uninformed. It's not something that is mandatory, okay? Then you spend on what's remaining, right? You are what? Subject to the lender. They let you have what's remaining, okay? So let's get informed. So we want to minimize our taxes. We want to revisit the W-4 form. That's the little form that you filled out when you sat down with your human resources, right? When you did that, they said, hey, what were your deductions and what were your the children, however many, and some people may say, hey, well, I already know, Mike, I'm just going to jack it up 12, right? And what have you. Can't do that anymore. That's changed. If you ever tried to your W-4, you got to adjust a little bit differently now. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to adjust the W-4 because you have a right. If anything has changed, then you can revisit your W-4 and adjust it the right way. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Right? Internal Revenue Service is saying this. This is not just me. This is not Financial Blueprint Academy, right? Big refund, big tax bill. Now let's look at it right in the middle. Where does your refund come from? It comes from your wallet or your purse, right? One more time. It comes from your wallet or your purse. When you tell your employer how much to withhold from your paycheck, okay, or you make an estimated tax payment, okay, for the average refund, that's about $40 too much. So what we do is we show you how to visit the W-4 estimator. It's an online site, and you put in the things pertaining to you, and it shows you if you're overpaying and how to change the overpayment. Okay, so what you're thinking of, hey, you're looking at the second paragraph. Well, Michael, I like it because it helps me save. Think about it like this. If they're telling you, listen, you might be using the extra withholding as a forced savings method. So we don't want to be forced. We want to be informed, right? But Uncle Sam doesn't pay interest on those refunds, okay? So we want to be informed, and we want to use our money and put our money to making interest, okay? So minimize those taxes. Now, minimize the debt. You take what? You take the extra money that you're receiving, the increase in cash flow now, and you start applying it to debt, snowballing the debt. Get yourself up and out of there. You're getting momentum now. You're starting to feel that things are rocking and rolling for you, right? So now you want to go where? Minimize expenses, okay? Take reducing the things that you don't need for a time frame, right? You may have a phone bill, $200-300, okay? And it may be you don't need it. You may have Wi-Fi at home, so it may be to adjust something. You may have the the cable, right? You may not need that. You can maybe cancel that and just get streaming service, okay? So different things, minimize for a little while, delayed gratification. This is going to what? Increase your cash flow, right? So when you do that, now what's going to happen is you're going to invest the rest, okay? Because in 6 weeks, we're going to show you, remember, 369 transformation. First 3 days, this right here has taught you how to increase your cash flow, just like that, right? And then in 6 weeks or less, we're going to show you what? How to make sure that you have business income, because we're doing what? Reducing taxes. So if we are having a W-2 that's taxing you between 28 to 32% and you get taxed first, we want to create business income, right? We want to make those already bills that we have into business expenses so that we can write those things off, okay? Because with the business, we work, the business works rather, okay? The business spends. And then the business pays taxes on what's remaining, right? You see what I'm saying? It's reverse, okay? So now we are able to take advantage because we are informed, right? The business works, business and spends. Then the business is taxed on what's left over, okay? And what we can do, it's very simple, okay? It's a simple investment. It's not $119.95 a month, okay? It's $119.95, okay? So just think about it. The average person receives, from just adjusting the W-4, one of our wealth strategies, they receive anywhere between, the average is being $250 to $800 a month, okay? So let me ask you this. If you invest $119, right, 1 month, okay, and you get back $250, right? Aren't you winning? Aren't you winning? Right? Okay. What we want to do is profit. Okay. And so then that's the first step. Then we start reducing debt, reducing taxes, and making business income. Okay. So now it's $69 a month. Right. So now guess what? If you are receiving back $250 a month every month because you adjusted your W-4, because you're informed now, right? Won't you pay 69? You give 69, right? You get back 250. You pay 69, you get back 250, right? How many times will you do that? Okay. If I have $250 in my hand, I say, hey, every time you bring me $70, I'm going to give you this $250. Okay. You go away, right? Or you just take 70 out of the 250 and you give me that 70, right? And then I give you another 250. How many times would you do that? You're already in profit mode. Now you can learn, right? And earn. You can earn while you learn. It's awesome because you learn to write off your lifestyle. Okay. You've learned to understand that, hey, I'm already paying these bills. I'm already paying these different things. So why not make myself into a home-based business? What's the home-based business? It's tracking your income, increasing your cash flow. It's tracking your income and increasing your cash flow. That's your business. Learning how to write off that lifestyle, okay? And when you do that, you can earn $70, $12, 18.5, right? And I'm going to show you how those numbers line up, okay? Because this is just not something to make or to help you, right? Just to keep more of the money that you're making, but it's also a way that you're going to make more money. We always talk about multiple streams of income, but most of the times we're doing something like multiple puddles, okay? It's not going anywhere, okay? So let's rock and roll. So now let's look at it, okay? Because if you are just basically paying attention, right? And you're just going from day to day, week to week, there are things that you're spending money on already. We call it the already money system. You're already spending money on these things. Take a look at that, okay? Home, right? You have your rent, okay? Or you have your mortgage, right? You have your car, your truck, okay? All those types of things, okay? So the utilities there, $2,000. With the mileage, that's a $5,750 swing, okay, towards you, or minus, okay, if you don't become a home-based business owner. That's up to you, okay? Now, also communications. If you're watching this right now, it's most likely you're watching it on your smartphone. Or if not, you're probably watching it on something that has Wi-Fi, right? And so now these things you already have, why not write it off? That's an extra $2,000 that you could have positive towards you, or negative if you choose not to get a home-based business, right? So now think about it. There's things that you want to do now. You know, people are traveling again, moving around, right? What we want to do is make sure that you live your life on a wholesale level, not a retail level. So as you're doing your travel, we make sure that you have up to 70%, right? Up to 70% possibilities of discounts on your travel. Okay, and as well, it is a write-off. Okay, so let's look at it. It's extra another $3,500. Okay, and then business meals and tips, and it's extra 6,000. You do eat, right? Talk about your business while you eat. Okay, all right, and also this is huge right here, up to $12,400 for wages to children and grandchildren. Just think about it. You're already paying because we want them to what? Live their best life too, right? We want them to be able to enjoy things. So you're buying them things, right? So instead of just buying them the latest doodad, right, that we want for them or they want for themselves and we want to get it for them, right? So instead of doing that just outright, pay them a wage for your home-based business, for taking out the trash or, et cetera, right? Now that is a pay that you've done. Now that is a write-off, okay? So that's what we want to do is we want to do what? We want to be informed because we do not want to be what? Capitalized upon, right? So now if you think about it, things you're already doing could become deductions. So that's $40,000 that we just labeled right here in front of you. So if you leave tonight, today, whenever you're watching this and you say, hey, then I'd rather not do the 119, right? Because of X, Y, and Z, whatever that situation may be. You're essentially saying that, hey, this 119 is heavier than this $40,000 that I can't see that I'm losing. You see what I'm saying? So what we want to do is we want to understand, to be informed. You're already paying this money into these different areas. Have yourself and become a home-based business so that you can write these things off. If that's the only thing you do is to write these things off, okay? So now let's look at it. We give you the software, the systems, and the strategies that you'll be able to do. That's the cash flow manager, so that you'll be able to do stellar record keeping. Very simple. You see the buttons here, enter new income plus, enter new expense plus, and then just look at the drop down menu and it already is labeled for you. And then take a picture of your receipt or whatever that may be, import it, and you're done, right? And let's keep on moving. I'll say now you're ready. Now you are informed. Now you're taking advantage of the things that are already set before you, okay? And see, if you look at a couple of ways of record keeping, you have meals and entertainment, okay? And then of course, if you at the top here, you have your MyEcon site, right? $34.95, right? So now if you have any of these other pieces here, like the commissions, record those, okay? And then at the end of the year, you simply just come and press the button and guess what happens? Now you can give out a very refined report to your CPA or tax preparer, right? So now what? You're ready, you're disciplined, your habits are creating wealth for you, okay? So now what we want to do is we want to revisit the 9 part about that. That's what, 9 months or less. We're going to make sure that you're in where? Investment income. Because if you're not owning a piece of America, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? You are backing up. You're not going to be able to retire like you want to, okay? Because once again, it's taxed less than the regular income, okay? Because what we want to do is continually lower down the taxes so that we can have more cash flow. So the money now works for you. You will reinvest the money and you get more money. Okay. So now what we do is we talk about terms, definitions, so that when you talk to different people that will be handling your wealth, right, you know the terms and definitions, right? We're not brokers or anything like that, but we are instructors, teachers, educators, right? Teaching you the terms, definitions, perspectives, right? What your capital gains are, things like dividends, right? And the biggest asset of all time is yourself, okay? So when you realize that, then you're in place to never be dependent upon anyone, right? And so the biggest thing is understand that this also carries a powerful retail strategy, because what I've talked to you about right now, or up to right now, is just the strategy 1, which is basically increasing your cash flow, right? And also a little bit into the business income. But basically, there are also people that like to sell, okay? Those people that like to do those things, pay attention to this here, right? There are people out there right now that have a credit business because of their MyEcon membership. You have a standalone credit system. You have a standalone travel membership as well, right? These different things that people are paying an arm and a leg for, that you can actually give them better service, better products, and better pricing. Okay. We also have other great products and services like the cash flow manager, nutritional products, identity theft, roadside service also, right? And if you look at the My Credit system as well, remember, or look and remember, so that you can see now it has the do-it-yourself credit repair videos. Okay. It's so that now I've seen people pay, and I've had people pay for services of credit, and then guess what? They don't have the education or the understanding, so they get into a different situation and they need to do it again, so they have to pay again. Okay, so we'll give you everything so that you do not have to worry about losing the information. Once you got it, you have it. It's already done. Okay, and remember, on this elevation travel, like we said before, that's up to 70% savings and discounts. And if you find a better price, that's 110% price guarantee, right? And now we won't even mention the reward credits that you can get for that as well, okay? And the thing is, what we want to do is we want to understand what you are having before you. And it may sound like a lot of stuff for such a small amount of money, but we have an awesome founder and co-founder that has built this for us, okay? So that's what I want you to see, that you get your personalized website, your world-class business system, and the income shifting membership, okay? Those things you can have today, as well as the tax withholding training, the smart credit system, minimize taxes training, and your cash flow manager app, the debt elimination software as well. And you say, Michael, does it keep going? Most definitely, okay? Investment education training, okay? Owning a piece of America. And now also, once it was like $299.95, as you see here, but now $119.95 one time, and then 30 days later, as we meet your expectations and blow you out of the water, $69.95 a month. And once again, these are complete tax write-offs, okay? So incredible, valuable tax benefits to where it's actually out of your pocket one time, and then you have benefits, and then you have profits so that it doesn't come out of your pocket again, okay? So once again, this has been Michael Holmes, and you can see my fearless leader, Terrence Hill, and we're part of the Financial Blueprint Academy, okay? And what we'll do, we want to welcome you to get your GPS, get your financial blueprint done so that you can see and be the person that you really want to be in life, okay? So now as I pull this together here, there we go. So what I want you to do is see how powerful it is, so that you, if you want to do one thing, your one thing is this: you want to do the already money system, right? You're already paying these things in bills. Make yourself into a home-based business and write those things off, right? And then create an extra $200 to $1,000 a month, so that then you can reinvest. Then use the education to reinvest your dollars to create assets for yourself, okay? And then those of us, like, you know, that I'm talking to now as well, there are leaders out there that always are attracting people that are asking you how to do this, how to do that. Right now, you can point them to a system while you continue doing the things that you really want to do. The system helps them to do the things that they want to do. So it helps you to create multiple streams of income for you, okay? Because some of us are to a level that our future lifestyle is closer. So we have to do things than just add money to the nest egg. We got to multiply, right? So that we can just geometrically grow, right? Make sure that our nest egg where we want to be in life, okay? So at the biggest deal that I want you to understand is this: make sure you turn your bills into business expenses, guys, right? So this has been Michael Holmes, and I appreciate everything. I always appreciate the time that you spend. And also, let me see here if there's any comments or anything like that as we want to go through. All right, sounds good. I appreciate you. Hey, Shayla, I hope you're still watching. I appreciate you. Brian Singletary, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I did my best. So guys, I appreciate everybody that tuned in, and this was a special training, a special presentation, right? Because you're going to see this circulated and everything. So I really appreciate everybody for joining in, okay? And as you see here, It is for our growing, okay? Okay? And what we want to do is we always want to make sure that what we do is teach people not to be uninformed, okay? So what we want to do, man, I really, really appreciate you guys. I'm going to leave you with a small testimony, and then reach out to me at www.purposepursuer.com. If you need things, just reach out. Anybody that's doing the MyEcon process, reach out to them, because we are all here to work together. We believe in abundance of a universe. We believe in an abundant God, right? So we want to make sure that you get the things that you want and that you desire, right? Continue pursuing your purpose. Peace.
I'm super excited about MyEcon because of the freedom, the flexibility that it allowed for me and my family to have. Before MyEcon, I was in the military and we had more month than we had money. After applying the strategies and using the system, we've been able to cash flow up to $700,000. I have retired without having to get a retirement job, and my wife is on the same path to retire within the next 2 years, so we could just live our life on purpose and with our kids. That's why I'm excited about MyEcon.